Hi, I'm Kim Hopkins.
And I'm Lisa Carponelli.
And we are the founders of Velorosa. Our mission at Velorosa is to create good-looking, great-fitting, high-performance cycling wear for avid female cyclists. We are so excited to be finalists at Pitchfest, and honestly just super honored to be in the company of so many amazing female entrepreneurs.
Thank you so very much for having us. So I'm going to start with a little bit of our story. Kim and I actually met on a women's cycling team that Kim founded in our hometown of Des Moines. And she was also the woman responsible for designing the team kits. And of course, a kit is what we refer to as a matching pair of bike shorts and a jersey. So when I would wear my kit around town, inevitably, women would shout out, "Hey, where can I get one of those?" And I thought, there's an opportunity there. So on one of our bike rides together, I turned around and I said to Kim, I said, "Hey, have you ever thought about taking your designs and branding them for a larger audience?" Well, and her answer?
Only every day.
And that is how Velorosa cycling wear came to be.
So the problem we needed to solve was this. As avid female cyclists ourselves, we were beyond frustrated with the lack of options for cycling wear for women. On one hand, you would find shrunken down, ill-fitting versions of men's gear, or overly feminized themes that come from what I like to call the tampon box school of design. You guys know what we're talking about. Lots of pastel pinks and lavenders and flowers and little butterflies. So, also, just honestly, just a lack of variety in the idea that just a few women's styles on a rack in the back of a bike shop was really somehow enough to satisfy an entire gender of cyclists.
So that was the problem. We had the solution. We decided that we were going to create comfortable and stylish cycling gear for women to ride and train in. Also, it's very important to us that to be seen means to be safe. And the bike is certainly not a place where a woman should try to diminish herself or hide or be small in any way. So what we do is we create bright, bold, highly visible kit pieces. And the idea for that is really truly the fact that so many of us have different styles and aesthetics. So we wanted to make as many options as possible. The other thing that was great was in that original cycling team, what we had was a built-in focus group. So with their help, in the summer of 2015, at our state's biggest cycling event, we launched Velorosa cycling wear. Oh, and just because people ask us, Velorosa, it's an invented word. It's a hybrid, kind of like a bike. And velo is French for bicycle, and rosa in Italian is pink. So Kim and I have our own little language that we call Fritalian, and we say that it means pink bike.
So here's what sets us apart from the other gear out there. First of all of our collections are designed to mix and match. And we can tell you that women love this option or this feature. It really gives them more mileage from just a few pieces in their cycling wardrobe and keeps them coming back for more pieces to fill out their collection. What else?
We've also got the design in the
back. I was going to say, you guys might remember, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Garanimals. Well, we like to call our gear Garidables. So then also our features. Our cycling shorts feature a yoga style waistband, and I'm going to put that up right here. And then compression leg bands, which really minimize the dreaded muffin top and sausage leg effect that plague a lot of cycling shorts. We have an anatomically correct vintage chamois inside. We made ours black so as not to show stains, and I think all the ladies here might know what we're talking about. All of our jerseys and tanks are contoured to fit a woman's body, smaller in the waist and wider in the hem where it sits on the hips, and step forward a little bit more. All of our tops feature 3 big, deep pockets for phones and snacks and extra bike tubes and the like. And then lastly, our price point. Lisa and I both have found tremendous empowerment from the sport of cycling. and we want to make it as accessible and affordable to the greatest amount of women. So we have set all of our pricing under the $100 mark, with MSRP ranging from $88 to $99 on our gear.
So to switch gears for a second and to talk about something very serious, 2020 has certainly been devastating for many small businesses, and the pandemic has had a profound effect on the world of cycling. To be very candid with you, back in March, Kim and I were in an absolute panic because all of our cycling events for the spring and the summer were being canceled. Add to that the fact that our largest retailer canceled a part of their order because they said their bike shops were going to be shut down indefinitely. But here's the truth. The pandemic has created an explosion of interest in the world of cycling. According to EcoFinder, biking levels in the Western United States, so they're not even considering where we are in the Midwest, have increased by, get this, 253%, and that's just since April. So, we were talking with Johnny Lynn yesterday. We all know this. You could not get your hands on a brand new bicycle this summer. So you take that fact and you combine it with all of the health benefits of exercising outside during a pandemic, and you add to that the fact that you have the safety and the convenience of online shopping. And to be very candid with you, Velorosa has had a pretty incredible 2020. If you look at our numbers, our internet sales are up 191% from this time last year. So what does that mean going forward? Here's what we're very intentional about as we move into 21. We really want to have some very select relationships, and a partnership with Title IX is something that we would love to have because we think it would grant us more exposure to women who value an active lifestyle.
So why do we think it's going to be a great strategic partnership for Title IX and Velorosa? Our full scope of cycling kits, we think, will, combined with your mountain bike gear, really complete Title IX cycling offerings. So strategic move for you guys. Ample opportunity for cross-marketing, Title IX bras with our jerseys, our tanks with Title IX leggings and such. If we're a winner, Title IX can choose from any of the collections. You guys have the catalog in front of you from our 2021 collections. There's 8 of them in here. Or we have the opportunity for some exclusive only at Title IX collections that are already designed and ready to go, if that's of interest.
So as we like to say, we think that this is going to be great for our business, a partnership with Title IX, great for your business, and also great for all the women who love to ride. So Title IX, let's roll.
Thank you, ladies. All right, we're going to test this belt. Could you hear the bell? Anybody?
I did not hear the bell.
No, Joel. I figured you might roll right through it.
Liars.
Is that audible?
Speed it up. I'm a good fast talker.
You did great. You did great. Can you hear this?
That's better. That's better.
All right. So pictures, if you don't hear the bell, if you see me dancing in the screen, giving you a 1, that's 1 minute remaining. We'll do our best to stay on track here. Great work, Lisa and Kim. We'll let you two close up, and we will close up over here. And we'll let Autumn from Stream to Sea start getting herself set up for our second pitch of the day. So Autumn, take a minute or so. We need a minute on our end to get things cleared up and set up over here as well. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I totally skipped the questions. Thank you. Yeah, good. I know. Thank you. This is why we practice, right? Sorry, Autumn. Back to Lisa and Kim. We have 7 minutes of questions, of course. It's a good thing I have people back here reminding me of this, and this agenda in my hand that I can also look at. I know. It's crazy. It says right here, 7 minutes of questions. So for questions, we're going to have the judges here. They have questions for you all, so we have a mic for them. You will be able to answer that. We got 7 minutes for questions. Thanks, Bo.
Hi there. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. That was an amazing pitch. Thank you so much. This is my first pitch fest, so I'm super excited. I just have a question on how you guys have promoted your brand to date and what's worked and what hasn't.
Okay. Well, one of the things that we started off doing is the company, Kim and I are the two right now that run the company, but we acknowledged maybe 3 years ago that we needed to add some additional help. So what we ended up doing was we hired a woman who is specifically responsible for our social media marketing. What we think has been really fantastic is Kim's the designer, and I have a little bit more of the voice for the company. And so what we've managed to do is hire a woman who helps us make sure that we're getting across all the different platforms so that we can reach our target markets.
And the other thing I would say that's been really successful for us is going to cycling events and meeting with, having pop-up stores at cycling events, so we get to talk directly to our customers. Can you guys hear us?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. I got to test one of your chamois. Lovely. Awesome. Super
great. Fantastic.
Lisa hooked me up. I wanted to know if you saw an increase of almost 200% through this COVID time, how did you manage keeping up with that? And what on the back end side, were you guys scrambling or how did you manage to keep up with that demand and get people's stuff to them?
Yeah, our inventory was delivered first part of April, delayed just a tad by the situation in China. And I think we kind of lucked out that we had ordered for what we thought was going to be a great year. And for a little bit there, we were worried that it wasn't going to be a great year. But as it's turned out, it's been fantastic. And we have had pretty much the inventory to cover that. We're getting a little low on things now, but that's kind of where we want to be this time of year. And then, we handle the fulfillment ourselves. And so far, we've been able to keep up with that. We're finding out when the tipping point would be that we need to find a fulfillment center, but we're so far able to do it. I do this full time, so I'm able to do all of that. Does that answer your question?
Great pitch. I have a couple numbers questions. I hope that's okay. I'm definitely a numbers person. That's good. All right. Have you defined this universe of avid female cyclists who are interested in high performance cycling, and how well penetrated do you think you are today? Like, how high is high for you?
I'm sorry, could you just repeat that just a little bit louder? We're not quite hearing that last question.
Okay. Have you defined this universe of women who are interested or were willing to purchase high performance cycling?
Yes. So at least our target market, as we've seen it, we have customers that range from 18 to 64, but we know that our sweet spot is 35 to 64. And to be very candid with the women that we cater to.
Have you defined that market in terms of dollars, revenue size?
I think we've determined that's about 80% of our sales. If that's what you're.
I don't know how.
What's the universe you think? Is it $100 million? Is it $200 million? Is it $500 million that you think?
Well, we know there's 19 million road cyclists out there. I guess I don't know if we can.
I don't know if we have a specific number.
Have you thought about it, I guess, is the question, like how well penetrated you are into that market?
Oh, how well penetrated. I know we're gaining a lot of notoriety across the country, especially this year because of internet sales. We've got sales in, I think, all 50 states, or at least 48 last count. But
and I think one of the things that we're looking at as we go forward, and at least what our hope is especially given what's happened with the boom in the interest of cycling recently with the pandemic, I honestly think some of the numbers are going to change in terms of the number of people who, maybe rode a bike as a kid and now they've reintroduced themselves to the sport. So I actually think that number might be in flux, and I think we might be underestimating it and where it's going to be going forward. I think it's going to be a little bit better. My hope is that this interest in the sport remains and maintains, and we start to convert some of those people who've been reintroduced to the sport to become avid as we are.
Sure.
Hey, hang on one sec, Ray J. And if you have trouble answering Renee's questions, you don't want to go out and raise money. But it's a good thing to be aware of. I would be terrible at answering Renee's questions. I can't answer any of those. I just want, they're very good questions.
You will ask that question. All right, next question. And I will 2.7% conversion rate on what platform is that?
That's on Shopify. That's how that's our e-commerce
website. So you're converting your website traffic at 2.76% right now.
Correct.
What is your ad spend as a percent of sales on your website?
Boy, we'd have to have our social media marketing person. She
Okay,
handles.
so, and I have just one last question. Okay, so at the price points under $100, do you know what your current margins are, product margins?
Yes. So for business to business, we are in 36 to 43% margin on our gear. And when we're selling business to consumer, it ends up being around 68 to 71% margin.
And when you get to scale, I imagine you're importing right now. Do you see that changing? Do you have a sense of how much that will change when you can get to scale?
Oh, it'll change quite a bit. I think when we can start ordering larger quantities of our gear, our manufacturers told us that they can work with us more on price as our quantities go up.
Thank you.
Tell you, you just got a very short lesson in how to manage a P&L. Okay, I want to let you know that, and there is no more important a lesson that any of us could learn than that. So tough questions, go back and watch the video, make sure you know the answers to those questions. The first one, if you don't want to raise money, don't worry about that question. The ones around margin and conversion rate, get after it.
Got it.
All right, we have time for one last quick question if there's any more from the judges.
Love that pitch. One thing that you guys are talking about are avid cyclists, and there is something a little bit intimidating about going from a recreational cyclist to an avid cyclist. How are you telling these stories of your features and benefits, all these great anatomically correct things that are going to be comfortable and performance when perhaps there are folks out there who don't know they need them? How are you going to convince them?
Well, first of all, at these cycling events, we have the opportunity to talk to a lot of people. So we get a range at those events, and that's a great time for us to be right in front of them and answering their questions, talking to them, inviting them into the sport, all of that.
Well, and I think the other thing that's really important for us is that we have this idea that there's three important pieces of equipment for a bike. You need the bike, then you need the helmet, and then after that, really truly what can make the cycling experience doable is if you have a great pair of biking shorts. And so, if you look at some of our blog posts and the way we've tried to make the sport as inviting as we possibly can, we try to convince women that they are in fact entitled to buying a quality pair of bike shorts, and that it's an investment, just like you would buy any other piece of equipment, whether you're golfing, whether you're tennis, a beautiful new snowboard, whatever it is, you actually need a good pair of bike shorts to make cycling a part of your active lifestyle. So that's something that we are trying to make it more accessible to those women.
All right. You too. Really nice work. Your product looks great. Nice work. Thank you, Lisa and Kim. Now, actually, this time, we'll let you